If trading is so profitable, why isn't everyone doing it? A question you should ask yourself on a regular basis before you get into something. Why isn't everyone doing it? Is it too good to be true? Why isn't everyone just making millions out of trading? Doesn't make sense to you, does it? Doesn't make sense to me. I've been doing this for 33 years. It's a long time. And in that time, I've seen the ups and I've seen the downs. But I've also seen that you don't just take $5 and turn it into $1 million. That's not how it works. It's a full-on career. This is not straightforward. It's not something you just on a whim go and get into, and suddenly you've got Ferraris all over the place and Lamborghinis coming out your ears and money just dropping out the sky. It's a proper career. It's a proper job. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Rob. For those of you who do know me, I'm still Rob, and it's Coffee with Rob. Let's talk about why people, not everybody is getting involved in trading. And there's a good reason for it. And that's because not everybody is making money with trading. Did you know that 70% of traders actually lose on leverage trading? The whole point behind this is there's a whole bunch of people out there trying to get you involved in trading, trying to get you to take a broker's account, trying to get you to take a funded account or a prop firm account or whatever other account they can get you involved in. Or maybe they're trying to get you to buy a course to sort of learn how to trade. Most people who get involved in trading for one reason, that is to make money. Now you get involved in trading because you think that you're going to make lots of money. And unfortunately, many of those people are in a situation where maybe they've lost their job, maybe they've been retrenched, maybe they've retired and they're worried about the future of their retirement. In other words, it's the last money they have on earth when they get involved in this, because they think they're going to turn it into something gargantuan, huge and massive. And this is the unfortunate problem with the trading game. Many of these people get involved, find out that it's not for them, find out that they can't do it, and they're off out the door. There they go. They're not going to be here much longer. They're leaving through the back door. Now, if you want to get into trading, you have to understand a couple of straightforward things. One is you're going to lose more trades than you win, and you have to learn a strategy to get around that, which I'll give you at the end of this video. The other thing is you need to keep it simple. You need to use a simple trading system, which I show you in all my previous videos. Basically, we use price action to get around that. Thing is, you also have to understand that trading is a 50-50 game. This is not something that you're going to get into and just make money. So if you want to get into trading, if trading is your thing, and you think, this is something that I would like to do. I've seen it. It looks enjoyable. It looks like something I enjoy. I enjoy technology. I enjoy computer screens. I enjoy charting and I enjoy maths and all those fancy things. Then perhaps this is the game for you. Because most people who do get into trading get addicted to trading. They get involved in trading and they don't want to get out because it is a lot of fun and it is enjoyable. And you can live your best life. In other words, you can get up in the morning and not have to get in a car and drive to work and do a job or work for some boss. You can literally set up your own office and work for yourself and make money. You can have monitors all over the wall, screens all over the wall, and you can make it as complicated as you want to, but you don't need to. You can trade on a cell phone. You can trade mobile phone, as you call it. I call it a cell phone. You can trade on a computer, on a laptop. You don't need millions of screens on the wall. You don't need to have a pro office. You don't need to have tons of people around you. It's really simple if you follow a simple proven strategy that I'll give you, the strategy that I use in the market on a regular basis, the one that makes money, the one that actually will make you a profit. The basis of this is most people don't get the idea that you cannot time the market. You see, when I was younger and I started trading, there wasn't any computers around, and I got into trading and I was using charts and I was using pens and pencils, lines and rulers, and we were drawing lines through. What you're looking to do on a chart is draw a line in the sand and manage your risk. That's what's so important about it. But you cannot time the market. Now, I have investments accounts and I have trading accounts. And the trading accounts are the ones that are trying to time the market. And when the aha moment came to me, because so many people kept telling me, Rob, you know what? You can't time the market. That's impossible. How can you think you're gonna somehow time the market? And I looked at this and I thought, of course I can time the market. That's what I'm doing. I'm trading. I'm timing the market. And I'm trying to gain a win rate here and I'm trying to win more than I'm losing. And all this rubbish win rates don't make you money. Charts don't make you money. They don't have a predictive capability, and neither do you. Nobody's got a predictive capability. So then you realize that, hang on, I'm trying to time the market and I'm trying to make money here. And the only way to actually make money in the market is by not timing the market, by having time in the market. In other words, an investment, set and forget, put it in, leave it, and hope for it to make you some money in the future. Now you think to yourself, well, if that's the case, how come all these traders are trading and how do they make money? How do they make a profit? And then the aha moment came to me and I said, do you know what? You can't make money off a chart. You can't make money off a win rate. What you've got to do is you've got to make more money on your wins than you lose on your losses. That's the only strategy you can have. That's the only business plan you can have. And I always explain this to you guys and I always show you guys and I always talk to you guys about the only way you can actually make a profit in the market. And that is by managing your risk. In other words, if you have an account size, you've got to keep that account size the same. So if you open an account, open more than one brokerage account, don't put all your eggs in one basket. But if you only have a few eggs, then you'll only need one account. Let's be fair. But if you have loads and loads and loads and loads of money, you might want to split that up a bit because, you don't want to be trusting brokers with your money. They might pop around on Monday and be off with a dosh. So do be careful of that as well. But if you have an account and you have an account size, don't change the account size. So many people open an account and say, I'm going to grow this account to a huge gargantuan size. So they open a $25,000 account and they're hoping to grow it to a $40,000 account, then a $60,000 account. And I get you. I get that. I understand that. But if you're putting strategies around a $25,000 account, don't let it grow to 40,000 and then start changing the strategy as you go along, because that's what's going to cost you. Keep the strategy based on a $25,000 account. Even if you want to leave the money with a broker and you kind of trust them and think it's going to be okay, it's fine. Leave it there. It's fine. What I would do is take the money out, but you can leave it there. It's fine. But if you feel that you want to put a strategy around anything, you have to keep the top figure the same until you consciously change the plan. So if your plan is to have a $25,000 account, and then you want to risk the same amount on every single trade, the point here being that you want to risk the same amount on every single trade. In other words, don't risk more on your favorite trade and risk less on your less favorite trade, because you know which way around that's going to work out, don't you? You know it's going to go against you, don't you? You know it's going to work, not going to work out. What I do is I risk 1% on every single trade. Some people risk 5%. Some people risk 2%. Most people risk 2%. Some people risk 0.5%. It just depends on your risk threshold and your comfort zone and your happy balance in the world. What are you happy with? What are you balanced with? Because if you can't sleep at night and you're constantly looking at your trades, you've probably risked too much. But when you use this strategy, you have to understand that it doesn't matter how much risk you put in, as far as you're going to make more on your wins and lose less on your losses anyway. But you've got to have the capital to cover those losses if they should all win. So in other words, if you were to risk 10% per trade and you lost 10 trades in a row, you would lose the whole account. And you don't want to do that. You only want to lose a portion of the account and keep it going. If you were to lose 10 trades in a row, you shouldn't, but you could. It could happen. So my situation is on a 1%. If I lose 10 trades in a row, I've only lost 10% of the account, easily recoverable. I can get back on the bus. I'm not in trouble here. Risking 1% of the account on a $25,000 account would be $250. How do I choose that risk though? How do I keep it at that amount every single trade? Well, the point is you're not going to keep it at exactly 250. It might be 260. It might be 240 or something to that effect. But what you want to do before you take any trade, when you identify a trade, is pop in there, have a look. And the first thing you got to do is decide where you want the stop loss. Now, why is that? The whole point here being you need an invalidation area. You don't need a tight stop loss, a far stop loss, or this stop loss, or that stop loss. The only stop loss you need is to look on that chart and say, if the price gets to that point, I don't want to be in that trade anymore. Because when it gets to that point, this trade is invalid, it's worthless. I don't want to be in that trade anymore. That's the point you pick. Then you work out the size of your trade from that point back to the cost to make up that $250. It might be half a lot. Might be a whole lot. It might be 0.4 lots or points or pips or whatever it might be. There isn't a broker on earth that won't give you broken down trades on leverage trading. If they're not giving you broken down trades on leverage trading, then you've either got really large sums of money that you're trading with these guys, or you're just trading with the wrong broker. Move on. Every single one of them will allow broken up trades to a certain degree. Now, you got to pick your trade size according to your wealth and according to your brokerage and according to the size of the accounts that you're opening. You work that out for yourself. You work out the size of your account for yourself. I'm just using this as an example to take you forward. What a lot of people say to me is, can you make money with that amount of money in the market? Remember this, guys. If you're going to start trading, if you're going to start any business in the world, doesn't matter what the business is, you're going to need capital. Money doesn't fall out the sky. If you want to start a business, you're going to have to either have the capital in the bank, you're either going to have to go to the bank and get a loan, or you're going to have to get the money from somewhere. You can't just start a business with no capital. And the same goes for trading. You can't get into trading with no capital, unless of course you want to buy yourself a funded account and trade on funded accounts and use their money, and then they give you a percentage of the money. And if you're looking for a funded account, obviously I do have some links in the description where you can get some easy funded accounts that are not difficult to operate. That's an option that you can use, that everyone can use if you don't have the capital. But one way or the other, you have to find capital to trade. You can't trade without any capital. Back to the trading size. So now you've worked out your stop loss. You've worked out the size of your trade. Now you know how big your trade is, how many loss your trade is, how many pips your trade is. Now what you do is you work out where your take profit is on that chart. And you say, well, if I look at my take profit, is it achievable? Is it an achievable target? This is really important, not to just put a profit up there like any old profit. Make sure that it's a profit that you could possibly achieve. Make sure that it's a profit that you could possibly make, not just any profit. And then look and say, is the profit more than my stop loss? In other words, is it more than $250? 1-to-1 is okay because you can adjust as you go, but at least make it more than the $250. 300, 400, 500. 500 is great because that's 2-to-1. I don't say you have to have a 2-to-1 risk to reward ratio. That's insane. Just make it more than your loss. That's all you need to do. Then you know that you've at least got a decent trade on the cards that you're looking at. Then when it goes into profit, don't go, oh, click, take that $20 or $30 or $50 or whatever it might be. That's another form of insanity. Why are you doing that? Follow your trades up, take your stop loss, move it up into cost, move it up, follow it behind your profit, and try and make as much money as you possibly can. Always try and make the target, if not more than the target. Most of my profits come from 1 or 2 trades in the year that make me a huge sum of money, that burst through the profit and make so much money. It's just like you're just laughing and jumping around and dancing and celebrating and what have you. Then there's a bunch of trades that actually hit target, which is more than my losses. And those are great because those you take and you put in your kitty. But 60% of the trades are made up of losses and small wins. Why is there small wins in my category? Small wins come with when you move your stop loss up to cost, or you move it $50 or $100 into profit behind, and you're following up your profit, and it comes back and takes the stop loss out. Takes it out for a smaller amount. Small profit. There's a whole bunch of those. And then there's a whole bunch of losses mixed in amongst that. Because that's how trading works when you're working trading properly, when you're heading for targets. You see, it's easy to have a win rate if you're targeting nothing. In other words, you have a win rate. You win 8 trades and you win $10 on every trade. And then on the 9th trade, you lose $1,000. Kind of sounds to me like you're in a loss. If you have a proper target and you have a proper stop loss, it's going to be impossible for you to have a fantastic win rate. You're always going to have a 50-50 scenario because it's either going to go that way or it's going to go that way. You know, you can pick a trade without any system at all. You don't have to use my price action system. You don't have to use Fibonacci. You don't have to use RSI. You don't have to use any of those systems. You can take any system on the planet or no system at all. Choose a trade. And as long as you manage that trade properly, you can actually make a profit. You can actually make decent money in the market simply by managing the risk with the system strategy that I just gave you now. There are many systems on the market for charting. You can go on a course tomorrow and they'll show you how to chart anything. They'll show you how to chart like a pro, and you'll come back with every abbreviation about the stock market known to mankind. Guys, this is why not everybody is trading. This is why not everybody can get into trading. Why isn't everybody doing it? Because it's not that easy to make a profit. It's not that straightforward to make a profit. Not everybody's got the psychology to trade with, because trading is more about psychology, more about fear, and more about FOMO and patience than it is to do with any kind of charting. Everybody thinks it's about charts, and everybody thinks everybody's going to get into this. This is why everybody is not trading. Everybody's not trading because not everybody can succeed at it. Not everybody's got the psychology to succeed at it. Not everybody's made to be a trader. Trading is difficult. Trading is not as easy as they're telling you it is. Everybody's telling you this is the easiest thing in the world. It's not. It's actually a very difficult thing to achieve. You see, once you've learned how to trade, once you've learned charts, once you've learned the system, and then you go back and you sit down and you start putting real money in the market, then your true self will come out. Your true fear will come out when you start looking at the money you've put in the market. Now, imagine the difference between a person who has large sums of money. Let's say you've got $1 million in the bank and you trade $100,000. So that's 10% of your wealth. You got that $100,000 trading, you start losing. You start losing your $10,000 down, and it's your first experience, and this is extremely stressful for you. You are losing $10,000, and this is extremely stressful. So you start sweating a little bit, and there's a bit of panic involved here. There's a fear level there, quite a substantial fear level. But imagine you've got $100,000 in the bank. You've only got $100,000 in the bank, not another cent, nothing else coming in from anywhere else. You trade that $100,000, and you start losing that same $10,000. Do you think your fear level is going to be the same? Clearly not. Your fear level is going to be exponentially higher, so much higher than that guy's fear level, simply because it's your last money in the world. And every cent that it goes down creates a bigger sweat than you can ever imagine. Now, do you think that will affect your trading in one way or another? Of course it will. Of course it's going to affect your trading. It's going to drive you insane. You're not going to be able to control your emotions and trade properly when that's happening to you. And this is where experience comes in. It takes years of time, years of trading and psychology to get around this, to get over this situation of the stress of losing, the point of losing. Once you get the aha moment and you understand that you can actually make a profit in the market by using a strategy which makes more on the wins and loses less on the losses. And once you understand that that actually can work and does work if you manage the losses properly, then that doesn't matter anymore. And you start to feel more comfortable with your trading. You start to feel more relaxed about your trading, and it's that much easier. You'll notice when you're doing the demo on the course how easy it is, just because there's only lines and charts, and there's no real risk here. There's nothing to lose. Suddenly, when all the risk is on your shoulders and you're the last man standing, you're the last buck here. It's all up to you, and you have to make this work. There's no other way. Suddenly, the stress level changes. Suddenly, the fear level changes. You have fear of missing out. You start clicking out early. You make every mistake that every trader on earth has always made. You end up struggling with your trading. On that note, don't forget, I have the members area for those of you who want the trade of the day every day. Get in there, join it, have a bit of a join there, and join us every day for trade of the day and information and contact and all the rest of it. Join us for the live shows Tuesday and Thursday, where I give you loads of education live, where we talk to each other and we have the chat, and it's really brilliant, and it's a nice community. We call it the A-Team as well. We get together and we talk about trading. And if you've watched the video this far, at least subscribe. Goodness me, you've watched the video this far. You have to subscribe at least. Guys, thanks for watching. Keep your feet on the ground, reach for the sky. On that note again, cheers, ciao, and peace out.